definitely you should be playing Trickstar Aqua Angel. There's no way you cannot play it. I mean, you can see it's an SR at the moment, so there's no excuse for you to not be playing Trickstar Aqua Angel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. Welcome everyone, it's your boy Darren Boss back again with another video. Today I bring you a bit of an insight into why I believe Trickstar Aqua Angel is going to be quite unique in Master Duel per se, and just to give you some kind of like reasons why I feel like it's going to be impactful per se, given that we are in a best of one format and Marincess has kind of been needing some bit of indirect support, but this is literally the first time we've got a direct support, even though it wasn't officially part of a promotional pack or anything. So this is kind of part of the Trickstar stuff, but we indirectly got support through it. So just like with most of the cards where they cross over between the character as well as the monster card that they use, so this is a bridge between two different decks that people use, and they combined it together to make the character Trickstar Aqua Angel, because the Vrain's anime character, she used Trickstar and Marincess, so it's kind of a bridge between the two decks. So it's quite interesting that they release a kind of card, but obviously you're not here for that. You are here to get almost like an insight as to why I believe it's beneficial to a Marincess deck specifically. Now I'm only going to talk about Marincess only, but if you want to look at Trickstar, you can also use it in Trickstar as well. We're only going to talk about Marincess, of course. So why do I think Aqua Angel is a good card? Well, first of all, it has special summoning flexibility. So what I mean by that, obviously you can see by the effect, if you control a Trickstar or Marincess monster, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. So it's very versatile. So most of the time people will look at, okay, certain cards that only can be summoned from the hand or summoned from the grave. This card has versatility in both. So it gives you, that extra push, or it can play through a little bit of hand traps a bit more. Because most of the time, if you go to a Link 1 and it gets imperm, or it gets veiled or whatever, then you don't have any other plays. At least Aqua Angel gives you that extra push to, easily set up more Link summons and provide additional parties on field. So you can normal summon it, link it away, special summon it again, and you can still continue on playing some combos. So I think it's quite nice. It also has built-in synergy. Given it's a level 4 water fairy monster, it's always treated as a Marincess card. So most of the cards that rely on Marincess names, it can be used because it's always treated as a Marincess card. So basically in the hand, deck, graveyard, banishment, anyway, it is always a Marincess card. So that is very nice. But the only downside is, just take note, while it can rely on specific cards by using cards like Dive, or where they say you must discard a Marincess monster, or you need Marincess monster to summon a specific Link monster like for a triangle, it is a water fairy, not a water cyber. So that means, again, you cannot search this card off Silent Mining. So please take note of that. Even though there is synergy, because it is Marincess in name, it does not trigger things like Silent Mining or even Splash Mage. Yes, can be used, but remember, Splash Mage locks you out of summoning Cybers for the rest of the turn, and unfortunately Aqua Angel is not. So please just take note, if you are going to be using Splash Mage, just consider that, okay, if you're going to run Aqua Angel, you probably have to just note that you may potentially lock yourself by accident. So that is a thing that you must always consider. Then obviously it gives yourself link protection, which may or may not come up in some matchups, but of course it could be useful in some situations, but it all depends on weird situation where now you may need to be protected from battle, and not just any necessarily a Link monster, like can be multiple. If multiple points of the card, then all of it cannot be destroyed. So it is also useful there. But I think the most important effect with Trickstar Aqua Angel is going to be definitely when it's sent to the graveyard as Link material. You can look at your opponent's hand as well as all set cards they control. Now this obviously provides some insight into information to say, to adapt your plays specifically for the matchup that you are facing. So if you're facing against Branded, they lose to Argonaut because they don't have any inherent protection or inherent removal for Argonaut, for example. And obviously Branded Fusion can be negated by Argonaut. The effect can be negated, so they can't activate it again. So that is something that is versatile. So if you don't have Ash, you can against Branded, that will work. Against other matchups, you know Bubble Reef will be better. And other matchups, maybe Coral Triangle will be better. It just depends what your opponent is playing. If you know there are potential board breakers, like your Dark Rulers or whatnot, you know exactly what to play into. So it's not going to be a complete blowout, like, oh, I went full on, I committed so many resources, and now you have to face this. No, nothing like that. It's very straightforward. So it basically, in summary, allows you to adapt your plays as well as prepare for counter plays, which I think is very, very nice. So that for me is, in my opinion, why you should be playing Aqua Angel. So it just came out in the new selection pack Chaotic Showtime, and the fact that it's an SR means it's just become another great addition to the deck, because there's no reason for you now not to play it. If it was an SR, people would say, okay, yeah, maybe play limited copies, but now there's pretty much no excuse. You either play 3 or you play 2 with maybe the field spell. So I'll give you the pros and cons of each, and pretty much just give you a what I think, in my opinion, the way you should play it. And I'll just show you a quick overview of how the combo actually looks just by herself alone, because when I see Trickstar Aqua Angel, I see more of a bridge of, you know, Spring Girl, you know, also kind of being a 1-card combo as well, but also have the same principle as, like, you know, a Seahorse and also a Blue Tank, because she's kind of like 3 monsters in one. Because by herself, she does full combo. And when I mean full combo, for me, in my opinion, full combo is not having Field Spell, Wave, and Argonaut. No, it's having the best conservative end board possible. And that is going to be Link 4 plus Wave. And the Link 4 we're talking about, obviously, is Bubble Reef. But anything in addition to that, if you can make it, then that's an ideal. But even before we get there, the next priority would be, okay, can you actually make Link 3 plus Wave? Link 3, which means it's Coral Triangle. But maybe that's more for another day. But I just want to show you why Trickstar Aqua Angel is pretty nice. So this is from masterduel meta. So we're going to now go into the next segment of the video, which is our just basic combos, just show you the sequencing on how Trickstar Aqua Angel can definitely shake up your combos depending on what's happening. Now, of course, it's not going to be an exhaustive list of combos, because it's really depending on how people are building their decks. But I just want to show you, just on Aqua Angel alone, with the field spell, without the field spell, what you can actually do with Trickstar Aqua Angel. So let's get into that segment right now. Alright, so this part of the video is just to give you an illustration of how useful Trickstar Aqua Angel is just by herself. Now remember, you obviously have other cards in your hand. If you're going first, or if you're going second, you're going, you know, you have an additional card. So you obviously have more cards than this, but it's just showing you the 1-card combo that you can do with Trickstar Aqua Angel by herself. And this also works if you also have the Trickstar Light Stage field spell. You add the Trickstar and then you go from there. But it's also an additional disruption if you're going second, so you can actually pin a spell or trap which cannot be activated, and obviously in the end phase, if you don't use it, then it gets sent to the grave. So that kind of plays around Imperm and those type of things. So it's good to always know that you can utilize that. But for now, this combo does not show anything about Light Stage. If you want to see more gameplay about that, be sure to look out for my streams, where I will be showcasing that combo, as well as in other replays that I will post on the channel. So stay tuned for that. But for now, this is just a demonstration of what Aqua Angel can do in the context of, you know, boosting your consistency of your deck, and also making sure that your combos are fluent and obviously can play through quite a few things. But even if you can't play through things, but this is like an uninterrupted full-on combo. So here the sequencing is quite important, because there are like a few ways you can do it. So based on, you know, the end board, as well as the resources you have back in your hand, as well as the graveyard, you'll find it's mostly similar. But this is just an example of what you could do with just one Aqua Angel alone. And when I say she's combo, like, she gives you guaranteed Link 4 plus Wave plus follow-up. So you should take it as you must, but this is what the combo is. So obviously we're going to go to the phases. So we're obviously going to normal summon the Aqua Angel. Then you're going to link it off into Blue Slug. Now I'll show you another combo when you link it off into Sea Angel. But the main premise is you can also interchange between the two, just depends on what's happening. So we're going to obviously chain a Blue Slug chain link 1, and chain link 2 is going to be Aqua Angel. Now when the effect resolves, obviously you're going to choose to either resolve Aqua Angel's effect now or later. So remember, if you're going to go blue slug, remember there's no real effect you want to chain block here, because you're just adding a card back from the graveyard to your hand. So you don't want to actually use the effect of Aqua Angel just yet. Then what you're going to do, you're going to actually special summon now Aqua Angel, and now you're going to go into the Sea Angel. Sea Angel is going to chain link 1, Aqua Angel now chain link 2. So now this is actually a good chain block, because obviously now we are protecting Sea Angel from being ashed, but obviously could still be prone to Veiler and stuff. But the fact that we've chain blocked, now Aqua Angel is going to resolve, and now we can actually look at the opponent's hand as well as any set cards that they control. So just note, they're not going to shuffle any cards into the deck. It's just giving you more like hand knowledge. So it's kind of scouting to say, okay, hey, do they have potential hand traps in their hand, or in the back row, is there potential Call by the Grave or something that you need to be wary of, so that it could be a potential disruption, especially if you're going second. It will definitely come in clutch. So we're going to resolve the effect, and then we're going to add back Dive, link off into Core and Enemy, revive back Sea Angel, going to go into Core Triangle, Core and Enemy, add back the Aqua Angel, use the effect to search Wave, use the Dive to Reborn, and you're going to end off with a Bubble Reef with Wave, plus follow up on the next turn. So it's quite important, because a lot of times when you're playing Marincess, you want to make sure that you also have follow up. That's what makes decks so strong, especially those meta decks, because they always have great follow up. As much as they have great combos turn 1 and even turn 2, they just have great follow up. So we need to ensure that at all times you have good follow up. And Marincess is one of those decks that actually has great follow up, but people don't realize. So just one thing to note, you notice in this entire combo, I never use Splash Mage. Just be careful, because you may accidentally lock yourself out if you're going to be using Splash Mage, because Splash Mage says for the rest of the turn, you're locked into Cyberse monsters only. And unfortunately, Trickstar Aqua Angel is a fairy monster and not a cyber. So be wary if you're going to be using Aqua Angel. You don't accidentally lock yourself in the combo, otherwise you might screw yourself up. So that's why I always recommend to people, you shouldn't actually even bother using Splash Mage, because you have so many other water monsters that you want to summon, but now you might be conflicting yourself if you're going to be using Splash Mage. If you're trying to play through a board, that's totally fine, but I think there's a good example of you see why you shouldn't really rely on Splash Mage. And you can see Aqua Angel by herself, yes, even if interrupted, you can still make at least a Link 3 with Wave. That is a guarantee. So the Link 4 is just a bonus, and that's essentially what you want to do, because obviously on the opponent's turn, you're going to obviously banish a water monster from your grave, and you're going to draw a card, get another potential hand trap, play through the turn. It's going to be unaffected, 3200 normally. They can't beat over it if they banish monsters, it gains attack. So there's endless recursion, and also on the follow-up, you're going to clap back with obviously Core Triangle in the grave, and you're going to go from there into some OTKing or whatever. So that's just Aqua Angel alone. But notice the sequencing was with Blue Slug first. Now let's show you a combo where you're going to go Sea Angel first, which I think is probably the line you probably will go for most of your combos. So I'm going to show you now a combo with Sea Angel. So we're back in the same menu now. So this is now again one card combo again, but now the sequencing is a bit different. So now we're going to go Sea Angel now instead of Blue Slug. So Sea Angel from the get-go. Now most of the time you will do this because you're going to be going second most of the time, and you know Master Duel is all about how strong your turn 2 is. Potentially playing into a board, you don't know what you're getting into, so at least this gives you intel to say, okay, hey, I'm potentially playing through hand traps as well as back rows. So now if I do this, they have to force out all their disruptions on Aqua Angel. Otherwise, when it resolves, then now we can actually see what we're playing into going second. So this is actually a combo that you will probably do more often, especially if going second. And obviously you're going to chain link block, look at the hand again, add back Dive, same steps as before, but just notice the sequencing is a bit different. So now you're going to go Core Enemy, revive back Sea Angel again, and then you're going to go Core Triangle, add back Aqua Angel because you need a water monster to discard, add again, to summon, and then now we're going to go into Blue Slug at the end. And now we're going to have this end board, which is slightly different to the previous combo, because if you go Blue Slug, you only end up with Marincess Wave in your hand, but you don't have another monster to follow up. So at least now Aqua Angel, even though she's used all of her effects, it's pretty much still a Marincess name. So you can still use it for the follow-up turn. You also have Coral Triangle in the grave for follow-up. So this is, again, more about getting your resources, and obviously resource management is very key here. So this is another combo that, again, it ends on the same end board, but now you have extra card for follow-up as well as other cards in your hand. So this is supplementary to what the main combo is. If you have other combos that you can do, you can definitely do it. But obviously if you get disrupted at any point, then you have other cards in your hand. So this is a very good showcase to show you how versatile Aqua Angel can be. You don't necessarily have to use any other Marincess monsters. You can just use her by yourself if you don't get interrupted. The moment you get interrupted, then you use your other combos. So let me show you another one and then we can wrap it up. So this is another combo. Just want to show you again. Just basically, again, same with Sea Angel line, but now you'll notice the sequencing slightly different. I'm gonna add Dive. Now you're gonna special summon the Aqua Angel, reborn the Aqua Angel, and now you're gonna go into Blue Slug here instead of the Link 3, and then you're gonna go Link 3 now. You're gonna add back the Dive. Remember, you haven't used a special summon effect yet, because now you're gonna get a bonus. So it's the same thing, but now you notice the sequencing is slightly different because I went Current enemy, revive back Aqua Angel. Aqua Angel links off into Blue Slug. Blue Slug gets back Aqua Angel back to your hand for discarding. But now when Current enemy goes to the graveyard, you're going to get back Dive. Then Core Triangle's going to search Wave, and then you're also going to get follow up in the sense of, okay, now you can summon from the grave next turn, and you still have good follow up. You still have the same setup, but now your resource management is slightly better again. So just notice in the previous combos, the first one, you just end off with Wave only. If you go Blue Slug only. So if you go Blue Slug going first or going second, you go Blue Slug, you're going to end up with Bubble Reef at least, but you don't have any follow-up other cards in your hand adding back. But if you go Sea Angel actually gives you more resource management in terms of you get follow-up in the grave, plus you get either 1 or 2 additional cards. So you either get a monster or you get back a spell. But you're going to guarantee always going to have Marincess Wave the whole time. So that at least is a nice thing about Aqua Angel. Your combos are more flexible now. And also, the hand knowledge that you're going to get when you use your effect is going to potentially make your end board slightly better. So obviously in my example, I'm using Bubble Reef. But it's not to say that Bubble Reef is going to be the combo you're going to use all the time. Remember, you still have cards like Duel that are still running rampant. So Duel likes high attack monsters. So you're not going to obviously end on a high attack monster if you're facing against Duel. You're probably going to go with a monster like maybe Coral Triangle because it's Link 3, but at least it makes your Wave active. So that is, I think, is a very important thing. Or you can, if you for some reason you want to make Marble Rock, you can, but I think Coral Triangle is just a little bit better because at least even if you get crashed into by another monster, you still have follow up on the clapback. So I think that's very important. So that is the combos that I want to show you, just basically with Aqua Angel by herself. Now, can she OTK with another card, let's say a Dive or a field spell in the form of Ocean? Yes, it's a new line that you can do, and that I'll explain in the later video where I'll go through like the advanced combos. Because remember, if you refer to my earlier guide where I only focus on the basic OTK involving Spring Girl, Mandarin, and Blue Tang. Now, there are obviously more combos that you can do, such as example, follow up from turn 3 when you have Coral Triangle engraved. What do you do? How do you actually OTK consistently? Because you're trying to end games as quick as possible. So for that one, if you want to see that, leave a like on this, and then I'll definitely get that ready for you. But also, you can also see on the screens as well, where I'll also illustrate, okay, we're doing the OTK here based on the end board, based on the game state, and you'll see you OTK quite often. So that is basically the showcase I wanted to give you for Trickstar Aqua Angel. It's finally in Master Duel. It's not in the TCG just yet, but I think it's a good shout to say, okay, based on what's happening in the OCG, it's been kind of making the deck a little bit more playable. Not necessarily meta per se, but it is a bit more playable in the format, and I think that is what you're looking for in a deck when you want to play for versatility. So you can definitely consider that as part of your combo lines if you want to include Marincess cards or not. So she's a Marincess card, perfect, but just note that you can play it 2 ways. You're either going to go Aqua Angel 3 copies, or you're going to go Light Stage 1 copy, Aqua Angel 2 copies. It all depends what you want. If you want consistency, then definitely you should be playing 3 of. But if you want to have a versatility of, okay, going first or going second, you and obviously have a way to search it as well. Because remember, Sun and Mining cannot search. So Light Stage and or Small World can search it at the moment. We're still waiting for Area the Water Channeler, which will be able to search any water monster from our deck. But in the meantime, we don't have that option at the moment. So that is what my consideration for you is. If you want to play more consistency wise, to make sure you have optimal hands as possible, optimal Marincess names, definitely run 3 of. It's an SR, so there's no real excuse to say, oh, it's expensive. The only thing I would say, if you're going to go 2 Angel and 1 Light Stage, remember Light Stage is a UR. So if you are not having resource material, maybe you can play 3 copies of Aqua Angel up until later on you can get enough crafting resources for 1 Light Stage. It's perfectly fine. Of course, if you're playing Trickstar, then Light Stage is already in your deck. So that is a no-brainer. So for Marincess specifically, you don't necessarily need Light Stage, but it just gives you that versatility. Okay, I'm able to search the card. So if I end up with Field Spell and another name, it's actually good because I can bait out the opponent with Light Stage, bet an Ash or whatever, especially in Ash, and then I go from there. So that is really the option that you have a choice when it comes to using Trickstar Aqua Angel in Master Duel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it wasn't a long one. It's just a quick overview in terms of why I feel like, you know, Aqua Angel is a good card and why you should play it. Absolutely, you should be playing it. It is a must. If you've been playing Marincess for a while, we've always been saying we needed a card that just makes things a bit more better into the playability. And this is not fixing the deck, but at least it makes things more interesting. The matchups aren't so like, okay, you can get completely blown out because you didn't prepare for a certain matchup. You didn't know what cards you should play around. So now you kind of have an idea as to what the guy's playing, and you can see how it goes from there. So yeah, that is my inputs on that, and that is Trickstar Aqua Angel, guys, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. I'll definitely prepare the advanced guide where we go through detailed OTK combos, maybe specific lines that you can do for specific matchups. But until then, this is Diamond Boss signing out, and this is Trickstar Aqua Angel, finally in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Enjoy, everyone. Cheers.